Well, good afternoon, Maverick traders. Welcome to the Market Roundup. Joe with you here on the 10th of September. Let's get into a Tuesday. You guys know how this works. Take responsibility for the outcome. Let's go out and see what happened. I'm going to share some meaningful news of the day. Let's take a look at what these markets did technically. And as always, if I've got them, let's share some trades with the community.
Disclaimer. This video was created for professional stock and option traders. Maverick Trading is a proprietary trading firm that employs professional traders around the world. Our traders trade firm capital and keep 70 to 80% of profits they generate. All trades and analysis in this video are for professional traders only. If you are interested in becoming a professional trader for Maverick, click the apply button in the video description. Let's break down what happened today.
As we move into the market analysis, folks, you can see that, hey, the more things change, the more they stay the same. We're getting close to an election. We're getting close to an interest rate change, which is definitely going to happen. It just depends on how much, and when it comes to investors and, more importantly, institutions, where they want to put their money. Let's jump over to the daily news real quick. So consolidation and corrective action has been seen in many stocks and sectors. Speculation is also super apparent. I've got a couple of stocks, or I should say, let me pull this up real quick. This is the one-day performance of what we see here. I use this on FinViz, but look at real estate and technology. Real estate up 1.36%. Expectations of an interest rate cut. A lot of traders are thinking that there's going to be a flow into new loans. That is an absolute speculative move. Also, by the way, folks, take a look at energy, down 1.78%. Now I'm going to pop something else out here. I mean, a lot of this has to do with a slowdown in the main consumer of energy, which has been China. So all oil prices fall 3% without real change to their fundamentals. But what we did get was a slowdown in China. So oil prices are worried about the concerns when it comes to the demand that China has had for so many years, and if this will spill over to a U.S. recession or add to it. Let's just take that for what that is. Take a look at how we finished today. The Dow was down 0.23%, the S&P 0.45%, the Qs almost up, just shy of 1%, the Russell flat. But the big one was oil, 3.75% to the downside. Now, folks, let me remind you, there's no real change in the fundamentals of oil when it comes to production. What I think the majority of this reaction was anticipation of a slowdown in China. Gold up 0.49%. We know the dollar is going to get cut. We don't know by how much. What plays out? I don't know. It becomes kind of a fun market. Gold pretty much flat in line, up about 0.49. Advanced decline line, 44% declining, 52% advancing. Now, folks, based on what I saw in this chart, you would think this is kind of a bad day with the Dow down and the Qs barely making it, the S&P. We did recover a lot of losses when it comes to intraday movement. However, we did finish higher. So with an advanced decline line of 52 advancers versus 44 decliner, you'd say that should be at least above average day. Above below the 50-day moving average. Overall, it is down the middle. It really is just a movement in and out of positions based on speculation and performance. There's really no way I can actually gauge it past that. So let's just jump straight into the chart. And what we have is a classic bear rally. I've got a crossover here, back up from the 20, back up with the 50, but it is looking to establish a lower high. My whole focus is going to be on this lower high. If we can't break this level and we roll over, I have to be glass half empty. But for now, I got to stay pretty much neutral because there is a lot out there that might be misconstrued by speculation. And this makes a market very difficult to trade when we see a lot of speculations in it. Moving over to the Qs, you can see it's a little bit more ominous, right? Yeah, we're a little bit more fall, but once again, there is a whole lot of profits to be taken out of something that's not underperforming. I mean, understand, folks, that these companies, they're not losing money. They're just not making it at the level that they were in the past. So don't focus too much on your opinion, but focus a lot more on what's going on technically. If this will turn, it will turn in one of these levels. It's going to turn back up to the moving averages, back up to resistance. It doesn't matter when. But overall, if your focus is glass half empty in the Qs, it will show it. And when it does, we can take advantage of it. Take a look at the heat map. You can see that Microsoft was up, but Apple was down. Nvidia is up. Amazon's up huge. Tesla's up amazing. ExxonMobil's down aggressively. It's just push and pull. It's the expectations of a political outlook and what's going to change with it. So let's make sure that we understand the difference between speculation and what's happening in sentiment. That's why we follow charts. Moving over to our market outlook, not much has changed. I do see this as kind of a bear rally. Don't get me wrong, folks. I just follow the charts in front of us. And when I see a little bit of a move to the downside here and a move back up, now this could actually break, but take a look at these candlesticks. And I'm taking a look at the resistance set here. I already did the charting here. You guys know where we're at. If this rolls over with any increase in volume, so I'm going to tend to lean towards more of a neutral or bearish side. So I'm going to keep our monthly outlook and weekly outlook the same as it's been because I'm not seeing anything to change that. So the best part about not changing my outlook is I get to go back to my sectors. I've had a lot of emails, a lot of coaching sessions, and a lot of work with our traders about, hey, what about this? This changed. Why did ABC do this? Why did XYZ do that? And I keep sending them back to our top-down approach. We talk about the overall markets. We talk about the sectors and individual stocks. The individual stocks part is where I'm finding the biggest discrepancy. A lot of traders are like, well, it's Nvidia. They shouldn't be going down, or Tesla. It's falling apart. Why is it gapping up? The overall motion of the ocean is too difficult to play. But if you back it out and you follow the sectors themselves and believe in what you chose, you just got to kind of slow play it. So I went ahead and decided to re-show you my potential trades from last week, or I should say my sectors, and they really haven't changed. Let's take a look at real estate. So I looked at real estate, last week, and I saw this. Hey, look, this little beautiful ascending triangle pattern. This was the exact day I talked about it. It was just the 3rd, I believe. Yeah, the 3rd of September, and guess what it did? The expectations, the potential, the movement, the push. This is a beautiful ascending triangle breakout. So I do definitely still have it on a nice high base breakout. I've got communication services. However, they might be overextended because of the flight to them, meaning, hey, AI this, AI that, everything's great. But these companies aren't bad. They're just super, super overextended when it comes to maybe some of the fundamentals. That's an opinion. Doesn't matter about my opinion, folks, because I'm taking a look at this objectively. Now, we did have a little bit of a slide lower when it came to a pivot point on the sector itself, but I am seeing a lot of consolidation. Overall, seems to be within a range. Now, to trade this, I don't really need you guys to go out and buy or sell the sector itself, XLC itself, but just be aware that, hey, some of these high flyers in the sector are getting taxed or profit taking. It doesn't mean that they're falling apart, but this could be something that could stabilize. Speaking of the downside, folks, let's go into technology. Has got a lot of stuff that's a little bit overextended. Totally fine. I'm playing this on a lot of technical analysis. I've got a head and shoulders pattern. Let's go ahead and see if I can't draw this. I also have lower lows. I also have a support level that's pretty major in the longer run being broken. I'm not really going to make a move until I see it start to creep down more to these levels. But past that, I'm sure as heck going to be aware of what's underperforming based on the sectors that I showed you. So overall, folks, what do I got? Expect volatility through October. Speculative trading will continue, I believe, at least through the FOMC rate cut, which is going to happen a week from tomorrow. So the focus is already on it's going to cut, but by how much? It's very difficult to trade. However, why I showed you guys the sectors and the sectors I looked at last week is because they continue to show their strength and weakness. CPI, PPI, import price index this week, that doesn't matter. I don't think it's going to make a difference considering that everybody's already focused on, we got a political debate tonight. We've got a whole bunch of stuff to worry about. And I really think it's all speculation at this point. CPI, PPI could be good, it could be bad. We already know what the Fed's going to do come next Wednesday. It just depends how aggressive they're going to be with it. Unless these numbers are way off, expect more of the same. Do not try to use a number economically to gain an advantage. It's just not going to happen. Overall, folks, we're kind of exposed to speculation here. It's expectations of a expansion or growth, worries about overseas or not, worries about strengthening dollar, weakening dollar, and what the Fed's going to do next. If you're uncomfortable with it, that's okay. You don't have to trade it. Past that, I've seen a lot of things kind of continue in the directions they've been. So if you want to throw a couple of darts out there, go for it. But past that, we just need to follow sentiment when we get it. All right. Thanks for joining me, folks. And we'll talk to you next time. Bye, everybody.